The more you're losing, you keep losing. But losing and winning are subjective. That's why when I said, hey, who's winning in here? Some of you are like, oh, I'm not winning because I don't have a Ferrari. You're a dumbass, okay? You are winning. You're awake. You're alive. Sales is 90% mindset and 10% skill set. And if you don't have the mindset and you don't think you're winning, there's no way for you to win. If you don't think today, man, today's a great day to have a great day, then, I just don't know how you're gonna have a good day. So today I'm gonna talk about manufacturing momentum. You can write that down because that's gonna be what today's title is. Guys, is momentum important in sales? Is momentum important in your life? Is momentum important in your relationships? Is momentum important in everything that you do? All right, guys, let me explain something. If I don't have momentum and I start off slow in a month, you know what I become? I become stagnant. I become complacent. I become negative. I become somebody that I don't really like, okay? I become like a weirdo, okay? I'll just tell you the truth. It becomes so much harder for me if I don't start out a month in momentum. I really like when we start a new month because momentum is everything and I get a chance to reset it and go back into this month on fire and really thinking clearly. So today I want you to write down a couple things, and the goals of these calls are always to take something away and execute them in your life. We have guys that have been with me since the beginning. You know, George, scaled from 100 to 500. We've got guys that have just started with us. We've got guys that have been with us for a year, 2 years. We got guys that are in all different industries and just growing and attacking in companies that are changing, man. So my goal is, number one, what's your commitment look like? What's your posture look like? Are you in an offensive posture where you're ready to attack, learn something, grow something, change your life? I've been on Zoom calls where somebody says one thing and that one thing is exactly what I was looking for. But why? Because I was looking for it. If you're looking for something right now, you will find it on this call. You will 100% find it. You will 100% have a breakthrough today. So, I was designing today's training and I was thinking about just all the things that are working in my life and the things that are working against me. Guys, there's positive momentum and there's negative momentum. Has anybody ever experienced negative momentum? Negative momentum in your relationship, negative stagnant, like being just stagnant. There's this really good positive momentum that it's like, man, you get around a customer, let's look at like positive momentum when you've sold something. Has anybody ever sold something and then got around a customer right after that and it was so easy? They say, when's the best time to sell a customer? After you've already just sold one. Because it's like, you're just on fire, bro. You're just walking on water, right? Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Thank you for watching. If you need anything at all, go ahead and reach out to us, 480-780-2203. Just send us a text with what you need and we got your back. And in the description, you have a free vault of personal development, sales training, and mindset training. You can join us. It's free mentorship. Click the link. Let's go. We'll see you on the other side. So I was going over something, and I call this the winning formula, man. And if you really think deeply about this is going to make a lot of sense. But the more you're winning, you keep winning. The more you're losing, you keep losing. But losing and winning are subjective. That's why when I said, hey, who's winning in here? Some of you are like, oh, I'm not winning because I don't have a Ferrari. You're a dumbass. Okay? You are winning. You're awake. You're alive. You're on a Zoom call where you're trying to grow. Do you know how many people truly aren't winning because they're truly not growing? They don't care. They're not even showing up and attacking. So when I said, who's winning? I jump around because I know that, like, listen, dude, I might not be where I want to be, but I'm going to look at a couple wins from my morning real quick with you guys so I can recoach myself on winning. I woke up today. I got a brand new little baby. He's healthy. I looked at him. He's smiling. He's crying, he's up and down, he's moving around, and I'm like, damn, man, that's winning, man. I got to go to the gym today. I'm healthy today. I got eyeballs in my head. I can see. I'm driving. I see mountains. I'm finding all the evidence of me being grateful. You're like, what does this have to do with sales? Everything. Winning improves your biochemistry. Winning improves your biochemistry. What does that mean? That means, dude, when I think I'm winning and I've brainwashed myself to be winning, no matter what happens, I'm running harder and faster. My movement, I might get way further than you just because my steps are more impactful because I believe in the winning that I'm doing. I believe in those footsteps. When they hit the ground, I'm moving. So You got to be thinking about what is your positive momentum. Winning creates positive momentum. You need to design your day around winning early. Why do we say get up and hit the gym every day? Why do we say do a lot of these little, micro habits that become who you are? Because if you can get up and get in a win and you can get up and be grateful, man, what does that do when you get around a customer? Everything. It improves your biochemistry. And go back to, let's imagine that you lost. Let's imagine if you lost. Say you're in a boxing match and you went 5 rounds with somebody and got your ass knocked out. You might think that that's a loss. I might think that that's a win. I might tell myself, man, you survived 4 rounds, dude. That's freaking crazy, man. You're a winner, dude. Holy crap, bro. The fact that you got up when you got punched that hard? Damn, dude. You're a winner. Hey, it's all your internal dialogue, bro. It's your internal dialogue. If what you're doing right now isn't working in your life, you might need to rethink the way that you approach life. I find joy in losing. I find joy in deals that I didn't close. I probably failed in car sales. I sold some of the most cars in the world. There's like 4 or 5 people I know that I've ever come across that have sold more cars than me personally. But that means that I've just lost more deals than 99% of the world all probably combined. I've sold thousands and thousands of cars, but you know how many deals that I missed? But do you know how many people that were next to me when they were losing deals, they were like this, Jasper James? Oh, they said no. They said no. Who cares if they said no, man? Listen, all right, I'm going to give you guys a parenting hack, all right? In this winning formula, I heard a guy say this, and I did this with my son. He was born in September. Do you know what happens in sports and school if you're born in September, parents? Well, your kid has to play like up a year, right? Or you have to move him into that up a year. What happens then? Well, he gets his fucking ass kicked. You know why? Because he's younger than everybody. He literally is smaller than everybody. And no matter how good he is, it is harder to play up when you're a 5-year-old. Am I right? Okay, so you know what I did with my kid? I said, dude, you're going to wait a year and you're going to play down a year so you can kick these little kids' asses. You know why? Because if he can experience winning and dominating these little kids and running around and setting himself up for wins, not setting himself up, do I want him to experience failure? Yes, but I also want him to experience what winning feels like. Because when you experience what winning feels like, you end up dominating. Do you know this? That 85% of the NFL was born in the first quarter of the year. Do you know why? Because most of them played down and they were kicking little kids' ass since they were young. Did y'all know that? Go look it up. It's a real stat. I'll post it in our school community later today. If you're not in the school community, you need to join us. But I'll post it in the school community later. I thought that stat was mind-blowing. You know why? Because those kids are getting used to what winning feels like. And when you get used to what winning feels like, you get used to some of these things, man, dude, you're on fire. So listen, my kid's inevitably going to get destroyed in a lot of things. But why wouldn't I set him up for success? That's like most of your guys' sales months right now. You're chilling, you're sleeping, you're relaxing. Do you know what? I heard a quote that somebody said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Says who? Says who? What Olympian is like, I'm just going to finish every race strong and not start out the gate faster than everybody? Dude, I am today coming out that gate ready to make contact. I am coming out of the gate setting my day up so I can win. Guys, what does that look like in your business right now? Are you coming out the gate strong? Are you shaking more hands? Or are you tired from last month and that's your mentality? My mentality is I'm coming for blood, baby. It's a new month, baby. Listen, I won last month. No matter what my numbers show or not, I'm like, bro, I won. And this month, I'm going to win bigger, okay? Jason, what are you feeling like this month? Are you feeling like hitting the phones and calling 900 people till you pass out? Are you? Or are you just like, I don't really know? Listen, I coach my kid on one thing. I don't ever say, hey man, you just crushed that game, you did so good. You know what I tell him? I said, man, I coach him on effort feedback. I coach our sales team on effort feedback. What does that mean? Our sales team, it doesn't matter what revenue they put up. It matters the effort that they gave for the day. I could walk in and tell if my sales team is on fire and giving the effort, or I could walk in and tell if they're not. I know in my heart if I'm giving the most effort. Do you guys know in your heart if you're giving the most effort? Do you guys know if you're like playing your full game? How do you feel about yourself when you're doing that? Amazing. Amazing. Now, what I want you to do is acknowledge that win. So write down, acknowledge that win. Do you know how many people don't acknowledge even the smallest wins? They're like, oh man, I got a phone call yesterday with a guy. He's like, man, I only sold 4 deals last month. And I'm like, okay, what's the problem? He's like, well, I only sold 4 deals. The average guy sells like 10. I go, the fact that you sold 4 is a blessing. Start counting it like it's a blessing. What did you learn from those 4 deals, man? Stop talking so shitty to yourself. Dude, say, dude, I sold 4 last month. That means that if I sold 4, I could do 8. That means if I sold 8 this month, I learned a lot from those deals. I'm ready to go sell 70. Whatever it means to you, listen, you got to start being nice to yourself. You got to start acknowledging some of your wins. You got to start acknowledging the little things. So many people are looking to say, dude, I sold 50. Oh my God, I feel great about myself. When I'm feeling good about myself on just the effort that I gave for the day. You know, it's not about like Klay Thompson. He just signed with the Dallas Mavericks today. He won 4 championships, 98, playoff games, 918 regular season games. You know, he lost a lot the last couple of seasons or whatever. But I watched that guy give a talk, and he said, man, all I did was I acknowledged the effort that I gave, and I literally cared about how hard I went in practice. Which brings me into number 2. The story that you create for yourself. What's the story that you're creating for yourself? What's the story you're creating for your business? Are you even creating a story? Listen, man, this is like the most amateur thing that a lot of people do. They forget that they're in a story. They forget right now that Brandon works in a company, that Corrine is a leader in a company, and people are truly watching you. They're evaluating your name. They're going to be talking about you or not talking about you. Do you want to be a role player or a playmaker? I want to be a playmaker, man. And a playmaker just out-efforts everybody. I'm going to tell you a little story to draw a parallel to this. But, I was a single guy. I was like 21 years old. I got in the car business at 18. I started winning at like 19 because it wasn't that hard to make relationships, outwork everybody when nobody wanted to work. To me, sales is just outworking everybody. And, by like 21, I was really killing it. And, I went to this dealership and they said they weren't open on Christmas. And I'm like, is it like state law? And they're like, no. And the first Christmas I drove by and I saw everybody outside, like I saw customers all over the lot on Christmas. And I'm like, that's crazy. It's not state law. It's cool that they give us this off. But man, my family celebrates Christmas on the 24th. I don't need the 25th off. And you know what I did? I went to the owner and I said, hey, can I get the keys to the building? I'm just going to greet these customers. I obviously can't sell them because I don't have a finance manager. But I want to explain to you what happened. The company started to put some respect on my fucking name. That's what happened. I went there and I opened up every Christmas my entire career, and everybody started emphasizing these grand stories about me, and a lot of them weren't even true. But it was like Goliath, man. They were like, this guy does this, he stays here on Christmas. I one time said, man, for the next month, I'm gonna, on Friday and Saturday night, I'm gonna spend the night on Friday and Saturday and open the store. I'm gonna work all night. And I did that for a month, but people started talking about it for like 7-8 years. What story are you giving people? What story are you telling yourself? Some of you are looking back at your life and you're finding evidence of these old stories and bringing them into your current life. You're bringing these old stories in your current life and you're like emphasizing the bad, like how bad it was. If you create a story right now for who you are, this creates momentum. Like this, all of this creates momentum. I start the month out thinking about these big wins that I used to have. These big wins. I'm like, oh man, if I could beat that, I'm unkillable. Oh man, these customers aren't ready. They're not ready. Here I go. And I start creating these stories in my head. I start telling myself about all of these wins. Right now in your business, you're creating a story for yourself. Are you a weenie? Are you a baby? Are you a complainer? Are you a whiner? Some of you are. Statistically, all you guys can't be warriors. Statistically, probably about 80% of you are whiners, complainers, and like total wussies. I'm just being honest. And then there's some of you on here that are doing the work, and right now, you don't even know how big it's gonna be 2 years from now when you're really winning, and people are like, dude, you should have seen Brandon, bro. Oh my God, when he was on the sales floor, that guy Paul was an animal. Holy crap. That dude used to spend the night at the dealer every night. Every night. Listen, dude, I spent the night 3 nights. Everybody talked about it like I was spending the night every night like I lived there, okay? I was working 4 days a week, 5 years into it, okay? I was like in Mexico half the time, okay? But you know what? Early on, I created these stories. I created this, like this character in the market. And was that hard? Yes. But if you don't create a story for yourself, the market's gonna create one for you. People aren't gonna let you, you're not gonna rise in the ranks of your company if you're not outworking anybody. What are you gonna have to do? You're gonna have to outwork everybody. Is that gonna be hard, Austin? Yeah, it's gonna be hard. But on the other side, it's hard if you just stay normal. If you're just like everybody else, if you're just a role player. You know how hard it is to be a role player? It's hard, man, because you doubt yourself. You know you're not giving the effort. You don't brainwash yourself. You don't tell yourself all the good things in your life. And you're just spun out half the time. You know, I don't want to live that life, man. I want to tell myself what's going to happen, and then I'm going to relentlessly make it happen. And I'm going to create a story worth telling. Are you going to create a story worth telling where people are like, damn, man, that Melanie, she's crazy, man. She puts in the work. Guys, do you also have to create a story with your families? Man, listen, I want my kids to say, man, my dad gives it us all. My dad really shows up and just goes absolute ape shit. You know, I want my wife to just say, like, man, that guy just doesn't back down. You know, like that guy will give it his all and do everything that it takes to see our family win. There's a lot of men and women, and we like to talk about how men have gotten soft, but let's talk about women too. Women have gotten soft every second of the day. I don't see a lot of women like they used to do in the old times. I mean, you know, we've got some savage women on here that would outwork most of you men in a heartbeat, in 3 seconds, and take care of their kids and do all these things. Like, but as a collective society, we've all gotten kind of soft. Can we agree? All right, guys, let's come to an agreement. If society has gotten soft, people don't want to work and people don't want to do anything, is it easier or harder to win? It's easier to win. But if you for a second thought it's harder, that's your problem. That's your problem. You think it's hard, so it's hard. I think it's easy, so it's easy. When I show up on a car lot, I know that every other person in my business is typically pretty pathetic. They're typically out of shape. They typically don't care. They typically have crusties in their eyes. They typically woke up at 9 o'clock right before work. They typically aren't training. They typically don't know word tracks. So like, who am I competing with? I'm not competing with nobody, dude. I'm competing with them. Dude, that pisses me off that people even put me in the same bracket. I'm nowhere close to the bracket that these people are in, okay? And I'm gonna prove it every day to every person, to my family, to myself, to my confidence, to my energy, man. I'm gonna earn the level that I'm talking about. And after you earn it, you can't go back to normal because your brain starts to adjust. Number 2, that was the story that you're gonna create. You know, I stood at McDonald's for like 2 years straight. In number 2, what I'm still talking about is, you know, some of you guys know the story, but I stood at the McDonald's across the street at my dealer for like 2 years straight. 3 months in, I'm selling 20, 30 cars out of the Mickey D's. I'm not taking leads. I'm standing there just greeting customers, talking to everybody that's coming in. Hey, that's a nice little Hyundai Sonata. Oh, that's crazy, man. Hey, if I get your payment a little bit lower, would you be interested? I jump in their car right across the street. You know how many people made fun of me for that shit? You know how many people made fun of me for the things that I did, and now today they're asking me to teach them and they're paying millions of dollars for it? What story are you gonna create? I did that 3 months in. I'm like, this is a honey hole, man. I'm winning. People are like, I don't want to do that. That's like a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work. I'm just willing to do it. I'm just willing to do that. Somebody said, no way you did that. That's crazy. Check this out. My friends, my so-called friends at the time, I wasn't mentally strong enough to know that these people were making fun of me. They're not my friends. I was a broke kid. I started making money in sales, and my goal was to buy this GTR on the showroom floor. And within like 5 months, I did it. Okay, within like 6 months later, I'm living in a penthouse next to all the Nuggets and Broncos. And to me, when you're from the inner city, like that's like you made it. Like that's like you totally made it. Okay. Now, hold on, let me mute somebody. Now, My friends would drive by the McDonald's and they would take pictures of me and they would send them to me and be like, oh, it's crazy you work at Mickey D's, man. Ha ha ha. And they'd make all these jokes. That shit pissed me off, man. It was good for me. I'm making 5-10 times the amount of money these people standing outside of the McDonald's, pulling customers over to my car lot, literally taking customers out of here. I'm a hunter. I'm out hunting. These guys aren't, and they're making fun of me. That's just like social media nowadays. They're like, oh, look at this stupid ass video, looking at this, and they're not realizing that it's changing thousands of people's lives. That these people are reaching out and saying, shit, dude, I want to learn that, man. Oh my God. But listen, if you're not willing to go through the ridicule, the hate, you're not willing to just beat those people with a great attitude. You know what I said? I never talked to one of my friends and said, you're an asshole. I just said, okay, man, I got you. Noted, man. Noted. I got you. No worries. And my life became so big that I never had to say fuck you. I never had to say anything. My results spoke for me. My results spoke for me. But you know what? I felt good about myself, about my effort. I was only worried about the efforts and the behaviors in sales. You know, I'm so happy that my boss, when I first got in the car business, made me stand in service for 6 months before he let me take an up. You know why? Because all these guys nowadays, they just say, oh, go find a customer. And then you walk outside, you get a customer, you don't really value it, it's no big deal. I had to stand there and shake thousands of hands before I got one sale. And I became really good at shaking hands. I became really good at looking people in the eyes. I became really good at communicating. I became really good at going the hard route, not the easy route. The market's made it easy for a lot of you guys, and so you're just begging for easy. When my story is, it's built off of grit, it's built off of determination, it's built off of resilience, it's built off of getting my ass kicked a lot and staying in total gratitude while doing it, which I think is probably the number one skill that you have to have. When everything goes wrong in your life, the way that you show up the next day, that's who you are. That's who you are. I know who I am. My grandfather died, and he was the guy that meant the most to me in my entire life. And my whole life, I feared this moment. I knew, like, it was just the moment that you would fear. Whatever moment you have in your head that you fear massively, losing somebody, I knew this moment would destroy my family and destroy me, most importantly. And my grandpa died on a Saturday. It was at the height of my career. My grandfather was super proud of me for everything I did. I walked around with a dealership with his name on it. I said, dude, I'm going to get a dealership with your name on it every day for 13 years. And the day he died, my grandma calls me, and they've been married for 65 years. And I start crying, and she's like, it's okay to cry. And I said, I'll be right over to your house. And she said, no. She said, that's not who he raised you to be. You're going to go have the biggest day of your life. The biggest day of your life. And it sounds like a story till people realize that there was a person behind that story. I showed up, I didn't go home, I cried after almost every one of those deals, and I sold 9 cars that day. And it was the biggest day of my life, it was the hardest day of my life, but on that day, you know what I earned? A new respect for myself. I earned a new level. I started realizing that everything that he showed me was resilience, grind, grit, having a great attitude while I was getting my ass kicked, staying in momentum, and just pushing forward. 99% of life is just pushing forward. A lot of the times you're going to have to endure things. Like you're not even going to be thriving. You're just enduring. Understand, if you can hold on and endure and you're in that endure season right now, there's always a summer after a winter. Everything is temporary and nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary and nothing lasts forever. Your wins don't last forever. Your sorrows don't last forever. Your divorce doesn't last forever. Your doubt doesn't last forever. Unless you don't take action. Then doubt starts to just amplify. But no matter what season you're in, you just gotta keep moving. Number 3, get good at rejection. This is part of momentum. This has everything to do with momentum. I tell myself these stories every day. That's why I've never been a low performer. I've never in the history of my career, up until like my first 3 or 4 months in the car business, that's 15 years ago, I don't even remember it, ever been number 3 or 4 in my company, ever. And I've been in some of the most competitive companies ever. If I walk in your business, I don't care what you know, I will outperform you because I'll outwork you, I'll outthink you, I'll out hustle you, I'll out care you, and I'm coming for you, dude. You could hire me today. I could walk in your business today and change everything. And I wouldn't care what you say. I wouldn't care what the other employees think. I would just go to work. I would just go to war. And listen, number 3, get good at rejection. Get good at getting your ass kicked. Get good at pushing through. Some of you get rejected 1 or 2 times and you give up. That's your problem. Remember, we're not here just for motivation. We're here so we can address some things and actually get better. If you're not good at rejection, you need to reframe the way you look at rejection. I'm good at eating shit salad. I'm great at eating shit salad. Okay? I had to get rejected a lot of times over the phones, in service drive, all of the time, by a lot of like maybe uglier chicks to get the hot chick that I got. Okay? Okay? You think I just landed Miranda just because I just walked in? No, it's because she said no like 3 times and I was like coming through this door, coming through over here. Jumping over objections, climbing through them, swimming through them. You can't stop me, people. I'm unstoppable. I'm unkillable. I've not died yet. Okay, so you are totally unkillable on this call. You are totally unkillable. Nothing has stopped you. So what are you bitching about? Oh, your year-to-date isn't where it should be? Change it. Your health isn't where it should be? Change it. Your mindset isn't where it should be? Change it. Your relationship isn't where it should be? Change it. Your results aren't where it should be? Change it. Your energy isn't where it should be? Change it. Your determination isn't where it should be? Change it. Whatever. You can change everything. There's a book called Extreme Ownership. If you haven't read it, I tattoo it on your arm. Some of you just need to get Extreme Ownership tattooed right on your arm. So you can start remembering that everything is in your control. When it rains, I think I'm like, damn, that's my fault today. Everything is in my damn control. If it snows, I'm like, oh, shit, man, it's snowing, man. That's my fault. There's nothing that I don't believe is my fault. That's why I'm powerful. That's why I'm powerful. And you're like, you're not powerful. Well, dude, in my brain, I'm powerful as fuck. Okay? And it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what I think. See, that's your problem. You think it matters what other people think. I don't care what you think. I care what I think. And if you care what other people think, then that could be your problem. We're identifying a problem. That could be your problem. I don't care. Dude, they blast me on social media every day for going bald. You think I can control going bald? No. Okay? I'm going bald. I'm deciding, should I cut it or should I go get a Turkish toupee? You know what I know? Most of those people talking shit about me, they can't fly to Turkey and get a Turkish toupee. I could. I can get 50 of them if I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think I care what they say? No, dude, because if I did, we wouldn't even have a company. Do you know how many death threats we've received at the Elliott Group? Do you know how many haters we've received at the Elliott Group? Do you know that none of that shit is even fazed me? None of it has even touched my soul. That's how I know I'm on the right track, because it hasn't even touched my soul. It hasn't even made me second guess myself. Because for so long, I went through this mentality that, like, honestly, I just don't even realize that it's going on. Do you know how many people will text me and be like, dude, you see what they're saying on this channel about you? I'm like, bro, I just don't even care. I got way too much shit going on, man. And honestly, my brain is so fortified that I don't give a shit. Don't care. Get good at rejection. If you're getting rejected, it's no big deal. Number 4, who you decide to partner with and the company you decide to keep will ultimately be the altitude that you get to. All right, let me explain. Young people, who you decide to get married to is very important to your success, because that will determine how far you will go in life too. If that person is driven, if that person wants to see you win. Also, your partner right now that you're with, are you pushing with them or are you pushing against them? Right? You hear Andy talk about it a lot. For a long time, he was kind of a POS husband. Great dad. He's always been a great dad, but kind of a POS husband. You know, I find myself just pursuing and attacking business, and I got to slow down and be a good husband. I'm a great dad, but I could lack in that husband category, and it's important that I slow down and say, hey man, what do I not know? Who knows what I don't know about this? This is new to me. I'm only like 2 years in, so I need to go actively study it. I sent my fiance this picture of like me studying this relationship course. Why? Because I want to know what they know. I want to know how to get on fire. All right, write this down. Welcome all experiences to catch yourself on fire. Welcome all experiences. If somebody knows something, but you're not relentlessly attacking it, that's why you look tired. That's why you act tired. That's why your results are tired, because you're not welcoming all experiences. There's guys like Jarrett Brown on this call. Man, I've seen Jarrett 15 times. His company's on fire. He's on fire. I remember when he was tubby, he was a little ugly, and he wasn't getting the results. And then he invested lots of money, came to a lot of things. His wife's like, what are you doing, dude? You're always going down there. You're spending thousands of dollars. Jarrett, if you could go back and tell that old you how great of an investment that was for you, you would have never even doubted it. And he had to have doubted a little bit, because there was a lot of things that he had to do, a lot of time and commitment. But listen, guys, on the other end of some of those decisions, you just need to be certain that it's going to happen. And if you're certain it'll happen, you could go learn from a loser and be certain that you're going to get the information, and you'll get the information to win. It has nothing to do with the teacher. Kind of. But it has a lot to.
On the insides of you.
It has a lot to do with you. It almost has more to do with you than it does the teacher. Okay, whatever you think is going to happen is going to happen. I see a lot of people that, like, man, you know, when we say the company you keep, let me go back to that. Who you decide to partner with and the company that you decide to keep. You know, I see a lot of people, man, they just keep old friends around them. They keep like old people around them and dead weight. They don't understand that this affects your momentum. My brother is in Denver right now, and man, this is hard, man. It really makes me want to cry. My best friend growing up, you know, he was the best basketball player that I'd ever seen. We played for the most competitive high school. He won multiple state championships, and at about 18, he started taking drinking really seriously. I did too. But I still went to the car business every day, and I still drank to oblivion, right? Like that's how we did it. But he never showed up for anything. He was more talented than everybody. He looked better than everybody. He could just catch a free ride with any chick and whatever, you know, like all of those things. But dude, we're 20 years removed from that. Wait. 20 years? Okay, so 18, I'm 34, so we're like 16 years removed from that. He never changed. He never changed. About 7-8 years ago, I cut off every friend that I had that still acted that way. I only got about 3 of them left from my past. I had lots of friends. He continued on that path of drinking, continued on that path of partying, and my brother went and saw him in a rehab facility with a bunch of old people, like a bunch of really old, decrepit people. My brother was really sad. It gave me anxiety of my brother explaining it over the phone. And he has a bone disease. The alcohol gave him bone disease. And it's sad, man. Like it's very sad. And he was 250 pounds as a basketball player, a big ass dude. He shrunk 3 inches, and he's 140 pounds. My brother said hugging him was like hugging an old person. I mean, that's sad, man. That's sad. Should your health be number 1 in your life? People don't like the Elliott Group for talking about health. I'm sorry, man. We're not really after the money. We're after really people changing and understanding that, like, if you don't take care of your health, if you don't pursue another level of your health, you'll end up in that hospital. And you know what it feels like for him to be in that hospital? Bad. But you know, if I stayed around people like that, and I love him, man. He's a great friend of mine. He'll still be a great friend of mine. And I'm trying to figure out ways that I can show up for him, but I still have a life and a family, and I have a business. Like, I've got to show up in a distance. There's another buddy of mine that me and him stayed really close. He owns a financial brokerage. He has like about 50 agents, makes about 10 million a year, did everything right. He moved to Utah, and we all would make fun of him. Oh, he's so dumb. Well, he's trading on us. All this buzz. I didn't catch up with him till about 6 years ago. He got totally sober. He stayed away from everybody. Everybody. He's absolutely crushing life. He looks better than he looked at college as a D1 college linebacker. Can you imagine? He looks so good, man. He's got 5 kids. They're doing good, and he's handing down them some habits, man. You're going to hand down your grandkids some habits. You're going to hand down your kids some habits. And if you've already handed them down some bad ones, how about you change and show them that they can change? How about you go radically left, differently from what you've done, and show people that they can change? This has to do with momentum. You're like, this don't have nothing to do with sales. It has everything to do with sales, bro. You just need to clock in. You just need to freaking lock in. But the company you decide to keep is super important. If you're going and dating and you're young on this call, punch above your weight class, man. Go get rejected by by a lawyer that's, in college pursuing something, that has a drive, that has a personality. If you're working for a totally crappy company, I'm a fan of changing companies. I'm a fan of being the linchpin that changes everything. I never worked for like just the best possible company. I created one. But also when I was in the car business, I didn't have the best possible people around me. I just created a better me, and it created a better them. I went so crazy that I bought everybody on my sales floor a gym pass one time. Everybody. I said, bro, we're all going to the gym. They said, nah, we ain't doing that. We can't afford that. I said, good. I bought everybody one. I bought a corporate membership. It cost me $4,000 a month. They're like, are you serious about this? You could be the linchpin that changes a company, but also you could go find the right company too. There's the right companies on here. There's the right companies that we partner with. They're everywhere. There's the right managers. Punch up in your weight class. Number 5, get good at risk. Get good at courage. When you have courage and you do things that you know or is going to take another level of you, courage only takes 20 seconds. When you jump and take the courage to do some of these things, it creates momentum in your life. It creates momentum in your life. When you know you're scared to make that sales call and you make that sales call, how do you feel after? Oh my God, so good. Let's imagine you're on the car lot today and it's slow and you're standing outside. You go inside and make 10 calls and you get 2 of them to come in and 1 of them buys a car. Your whole life changes. At least to me it does. I'm like, dude, oh shit, man. Yeah. Dude, I didn't want to call those people. I didn't want to do that, but I did it, man. I sold myself on the other level. The best salesperson in here can sell themselves on another level. Come on, people. Get with me right here. This is pro talk. This ain't amateur talk. This is how we get to the next level of our lives, not the current level of our lives. If your life stayed the same right now, would you be happy with who you are? I sure as hell wouldn't be, and it almost makes me disgusted just saying that. If your life stayed the same, would you be happy with who you are? Me? No. So I'm going to change every day. Every day. But you're going to have courage to change. You're going to have courage to be different. You're going to have courage to face the guy in the mirror and say, dude, I don't like that about you. I don't like myself drinking. I've told you guys this. My dad was an alcoholic. He's a drug addict. He left our family. There's parts of me that are within me that I feel like are there that are him. So I'm on day 220 sober. I just decided before New Year's, I stopped drinking when we opened this company, and then you know what? It just started to creep in because I had more money than ever. I had all of the things I wanted, all of these things. And I said, dude, this doesn't serve me. Listen, let me just tell you something. I had an internal doubt, a fight happening. And it was like this. Oh, that's your dad. I would take a drink of beer and stuff. And I'd be like, oh man, damn dude, you kind of feel like your dad. Like that's probably what your dad does. And like, I'm having these internal frustrations. Have you guys ever had this internal conflict? Have you ever had an internal battle? Okay, here's what most people do. They just have that fight for years. For years. For years. For years. For years. I'm smart enough where number one, I just don't want to be a fraud. I would hate to get on here and you guys not know that I'm like actually truly trying hard to pursue the next level of myself. I'm beating the shit out of myself every day and I'm really going hard. I would hate to get up into a conference or in front of people and be like, you can have it too. You can kill your demons. And then I have a demon in my life, which every person you know has a demon in their life. I'm just trying to find the new one that pops up and I'm trying to just bash him over the head and take him out. Because at every level, there's a new devil. And at every level, you're going to have a new sword to kill a different demon. You're going to have to go trade your other sword in, get a new freaking weapon built up, and then just go to war with that next demon. But then, you know what happens? As you start killing these demons, you know what happens? You start to create more momentum because it's not even hard to kill that one. My whole life, it was hard to kill this one. And then, you know what? I just made the decision before Thanksgiving. I said, I'm going to kill this demon right now for once and for good. This is it. This is it. This is done. I prayed for that strength. I prayed for God to break me of that weakness. But I had to kill a lot of little demons so I could kill that bigger one. But there's a weakness that's going to be brewing in my business and in my life and in my mind. But because now I have this evidence, I can take that evidence and I can use it to kill that big ass demon. And I'll probably kill him like that. Whereas another guy that has the same company as mine can't do that. He wants the same thing as me, but he can't do that because he's not out there fighting these little battles and having fun doing it. Like I truly have fun doing it, man. I'm having a great time just facing my own fears and my own self-limiting beliefs, man. A lot of you right now, you're like, man, I don't think I can have that life. That was me too. Oh man, I don't know if that's for me. Oh man, I don't know if I can do that. You got to learn to tell yourself to knock it off. You got to learn to tell yourself that you're worth it. You got to learn to tell yourself that, like, literally it's all just about today. All right, number 6. Well, let me go down to number 6. Number 6, trust in your own word. And that goes into this. Trust in your own word. This creates the most momentum in your life that you're ever going to have. Do you know why there's 75 hard? Raise your hand if you know what 75 hard is. Do you know why 75 hard exists? I was with Andy Frizella at his house, and I'm like, so like, why did you create this? He's like, man, I needed to regain the commitments that I made to myself, and I needed to see myself see something through, because that would change my word, and that would change the belief in myself. 75 hard, the only reason like the program exists is just so you can regain a new commitment to yourself that is hard. Now let me explain what happens when you do 75 hard, because I've done it multiple times. I failed it like 46 times and I've completed it twice. You regain a new commitment to yourself. In our school community, why are we starting the 90-day transformation tomorrow? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because we need a bunch of testimonials right now in the world. We've got hundreds of thousands of them. We need 300 more. I'm not looking for 9,000 testimonials. I'm looking for 300 warriors in our school community that will literally go through 90 days of suffering to become who they need to be. Because I got companies that are calling me every day. They're like, Ian, give me another leader. And I'm like starting to have to go look around. So I'm like, dude, I'm going back to how we started this company, which was, we weren't the kind of guys that were calling in the automotive industry like Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, they had a powerful sales team, and they just went like this. They called every single dealer every day long. You know what we did? We got on Zooms like this and built managers, and then built them into leaders, and then those leaders just called and signed up companies with us, and we went through 2 years of suck of building all of these warriors for them to go be general sales managers, and then to sign it up. It was the harder way to do it, but you know what? We did what they could do in 13 years, we did it in 2. Do you know why? Because we just did it the hard way. We did it the hard way, our version of the hard way. Maybe it wasn't the hard way, but I don't know. To me, it seemed pretty damn hard doing Zoom calls 48 times a day and doing all these different things, and like just, it was hard. Like it felt hard. It was truly hard. But you know what? I love what trying hard feels like. You know what I mean? I love what trying hard feels like. So, in our school community, we're starting this 90-day transformation. It's kind of like 75 hard, but it's our version. We're giving you a blueprint. We're giving you the community. We're giving you the friends that you need to be accountable, which brings me into, well, let me just stay on trust your word. The quality of your life is the quality of your commitments. Just write that down and never forget it. The quality of your life is the quality of your commitments. Whatever you commit to is what your life is going to turn out to be. Now, here's what amateurs do. They don't have big, hard, tough commitments, and then they wonder why they don't have a big, crazy life. The two don't go together. If you have big, tough, hard commitments, you will have a big life. If you are weak on your commitments, it will show up in your life and in your mentality and in your frequency. I assure you. I assure you. So, I'm doing my own version, and this is 90 days. It's in the school community. You can jump in it in the chat if you want to. But that brings me into, I think I'm on like number 8, whatever. I'm just not even going to say numbers. I'm just going to say that brings me into, I didn't number these. I always do that, and I always tell myself I'm going to number them. So whatever number we're on, you guys can count. But that brings me into my next one, which is find a community to run with. This is a community. But you know what? Momentum, I feed off of other people, other great people. I also feed off of losers too. Because listen, as a 1%er, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of 99%er negative assholes. That's just the truth. I just don't even know they're there. I don't even care. Okay? But I do like to go get around a guy like Ty. He came to the seminar. I'm like, bro, that's my guy. I like this guy. I like how he runs. I like what he's doing. You need to have a community of people that are on the same mission as you. Remember, I had a community that didn't serve me, and then I got into a community that did. People call us a cult at the Elite Group. They're like, you guys are a cult. I know we are. We are guys that want to show up for our families, that want to be healthy, that want to make a lot of money, that want to do the right thing, that want to treat people right, that want to lead companies, that want to go to church together, that literally just did life all wrong. I went to jail multiple times, okay? I know what's wrong. I've touched the stove. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I'm like, this is not it. This is not who I'm supposed to be. My ancestors suffered for far too long for me to be a loser. I'm not about it. Some of you are like, well, my ancestors were pieces of shit. All right, good. You be the one that's not. I had some really good ancestors. Aside from my father, I had a good grandfather that tried really hard. He's up there looking at me every day. So the people that I'm going to surround myself are in this community. It's why I built school, because I want people to get to know each other, to push each other, to call each other out, to call each other soft, to have direct conversation with each other. You need an inner circle of people. Write down inner circle. Put me inside of it. Put the Elliott group inside of it, and add 1 or 2 more people. But you better be sure that you can share your dreams with them. You better be sure that they're on the same mission as you. You better be sure that they care about you. You better be sure that they will push you. You better be sure that they won't let you slack. I dare one of you to go to dinner with Andy and order a cheeseburger. You think that he's going to allow that? No. Okay? So listen, if you're a 400 credit score and you hang out with a bunch of people that are 800 credit scores, you think that you're going to get better financial habits? Yeah. You think if you're jacked and you're hanging around, you're not in shape and you're hanging around a bunch of people that are in shape, you think you're going to get better eating habits? Yeah. You think if you are hanging around a bunch of people that have a great marriage and yours isn't as great, you think you're going to get a better marriage? Yeah, but you got to be intentional. Like, you got to learn from it, right? All of these things are hard, but they're also not that hard. They're also easy. Like, what do you think about what I'm saying right now? You should be like, man, life's never been easier. All I got to do is be a good person. All I got to do is attack. All I got to do is grow. All I got to do is surround myself with the right people. All I got to do is go into this next one, which is your physical health. Dude, I want to know that I can kill everybody in the room. I want to feel like I can outrun everybody in the room. I want to feel like that, like I have a vitality and a vigor about myself, that I am confident in myself. Now, could I get more muscle? Could I get bigger? Sure, dude. Okay, but I was 140 pounds when I started this company. I'm 170 pounds right now. I prayed to be there one day. I prayed to get to where I'm at. Do I want to get to 190, 200? Yeah, but I'm counting my wins today. I know that every day I'm eating the chicken and rice. I know every day I'm doing the workouts. I know every day that I feel better about me. It doesn't matter how I necessarily look on the outside. It does, but it also matters that I know I'm pushing myself. I know I got confidence. I know I got belief, man. My results know I got it too. Okay? So your physical health, that's why I'm doing the 90-day challenge. It's $90. You can join it if you're worth it. If you want to be around a community, if you want to push yourself, if you want to hit that next gear. But it's in the chat. But your physical health matters so much more than just than just you. You know, I was at the gas station 2 days ago, and my son was walking out of the gas station. He's like, and you see this little kid, and I'm not being rude, but this little kid is massively out of shape. The dad is massively out of shape. It's 7 in the morning. You know what the dad's holding in his hand? A big thing of a big gulp. He's got 2 energy drinks, 2 C4s. The kid's got an energy drink. The kid has a big gulp. The kid's eating one of them gas station hot dogs. He's 8. I wanted to beat the shit out of that guy. I wanted to beat the shit out of him because I could see the doubt in his eyes and all the bullshit that this guy has settled and done, and now he's giving that over to his kid. So his kid, a lot of things are caught, not taught. His kid is walking around like, oh, I don't know why I'm like the other kids. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, wah. Dude, he's just filling his body with negative emotions. Momentum is a posture of the body. It's a posture of the mind. It's a posture of how you work. It's a frequency. Winning doesn't recognize that. You know what my son had in his hand? He had a little core power drink. He had a little gallon of water. And he knows that he's got to kill that water today. You know what he does when he wakes up in the morning? He's doing burpees. Not because I tell him, because he sees me doing them. It's not just about you, man. If you can create this momentum I'm talking about in your life, it's gonna be the people look up to you. When Paul goes to die and Paul's on his deathbed, are people gonna say that guy gave it his all? I really fear the day that I'm dying if people aren't just saying, man, that guy played his music. Now listen, some of you, you're getting motivated right now and you're like, I'm gonna go harder. Good, I'm proud of you. You're alive. Some of you, you're not gonna do anything. You never do. You're a weak ass I want to say even more, but you're just weak, man. You don't make decisions. You're in indecision all the time. Indecision is the thief of time. Indecision is the thief of action. Indecision is what will give you the life you currently have. Action, new thoughts, new people, new information. Those things will give you a new mindset. Some of you, you're 40 years old, you're 50 years old, and you know what your problem is? Since you have so much experience, it's leading to conclusions where you're like, dude, I can't, I've been thinking this negative for 2 years. Not if you did what I'm telling you. If you run the play that I'm giving you right now, dude, you only need 3 months of this shit. You only need 100 days of new habits to create a whole different life. Guys, let me go back to sales. If you did this as a salesperson and you did this for 90 days, do you know the person that you would be? Do you know the human that people would see? Do you know the way your customers would feel? When I get around a person, I really feel like they feel the progress that's in my heart. You know, progress equals happiness. I really feel like the number one thing that people want to do is be happy. But you really can't be happy if you don't have progress. How? Explain it to me. And if you're a happy salesperson, do people close up? Yeah. But I find myself personally really negative when I'm not pursuing the better version of myself, when I'm not in progress. So I'm just giving you my tips. As I'm on here with you, I'm actually really just talking to myself. But then let me go into these last two. We got 8 more minutes. Let me go into these last two. You know, my son, this is the next one. So I said trust in your word was one of them. I said kill, eat, and outrun everybody. What's your physical health look like? The other one, find a community. The other one, get good at risk and energy, or get good at risk and courage. But now, you know, I want to go down to this one. And I'm going to explain it, then I'll tell you what to write down. But, you know, imagine my baby woke up today and he pooped, right? He pooped. He pooped, people. Imagine if that baby, you know, imagine if I got mad. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be pooping. You shouldn't be pooping. That shouldn't be happening. And maybe this isn't the right story, but when a lot of you, like as adults, you're making a little poo-poo, you're making a little stink, and then all you do is sit in the stink. You don't change your damn diaper. You just get mad at yourself and you sit and poop all day. Listen, man, change your damn diaper. It's normal to mess up. Adjust your expectations. Do you expect to fail? Do you expect to make mistakes? How do you deal with the mistakes you make? How do you deal with the shit that you aren't happy with your life? How do you deal with the little stink? Okay? Do you move on? Do you change your diaper and have a good rest of your day? Or do you sit in it all day? I'm like, imagine if my son could talk and I was like, this is so dumb that you just couldn't, you just pooped. I don't know, I was thinking about that this morning. I don't know if that made sense to you guys, but I know it made sense to me because, listen, I see a lot of people just sit in their own stink, their own vomit. They're just like, oh, wah, wah, wah. I'm like, bro, listen, that's how life is all about lessons, man. You know, momentum is all about lessons, man. When I make a mistake, I'm like, good, man, at least I'm making one because I know that Johnny is not making one. I know Bobby's not making one. So I need that mistake, man. That's good for me. Good. I'm that much closer to figuring something out. I'm that much closer to hitting that next goal in my life. I want you, the last one to, so I put get used to the stink, man, and change your damn diaper. Get used to it. Change your diaper. You knock on a door, you make a mistake with a customer, just get used to it, man. Adjust your expectations. Stop just acting like it's so damn messed up that you make mistakes. You got to know, everybody isn't perfect, man. We're not perfect. We make mistakes with customers all the time. I'm always apologizing to people. We are not a perfect company. We are 4 years in. There's a lot for us to figure out. I got meetings today all day long on client experience and all these new things that we have coming up, on all these new systems I don't understand. I'm hiring people, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. Sometimes I feel less than because I'm like, why don't I know this? Man, I don't care. I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to know this. This is part of the growth process. Who are you going to be in 2 years from now? Future cast your future self. Maybe count a future win. I'm like, man, I started thinking about this last one, which is visualize. I visualize with emotional intensity. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to feel so good to have that new building. Oh my God, it's going to feel so good to have that new facility. Oh my God, it's going to feel so good to hit that 50 cars. Oh my God, it's going to feel so good to achieve that. And I visualize with this emotional intensity. I have visualized things my whole life and they have always come true. You can ask my mom. She's like, when Ian says something, if it leaves his tongue, it happens. Because I don't stop until it happens. I never have. I say I'm gonna live there, it happens. Me and my wife are driving through Paradise Valley. I'm like, hey, I feel like we're gonna live here. This is it. And she's like, oh, this is gonna happen. I'm like, every one of these houses are 10 million. We need a bigger one. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I've already been in the backyard. I've already been in the pool. I've already seen our kids playing here. I've already seen it. And then I'm so fired up, then I just go and take my daily steps to make it happen. Whatever you think is going to happen is going to happen. Problem is sometimes you're just thinking about all the things that haven't happened that are bad and you're just brainwashing yourself for the bad. Start brainwashing yourself for the good, man. It'll create momentum. Right now you should be thinking, man, like this month, dude, oh, I'm going to bust this month's ass. Oh man, the momentum I'm going to create this month, I'm going to do all the hardest work up front. All of it, all of it, all of it. Empty the tank. When I get off this call, man, no matter who rejects me, I'm going to go hard. No matter what happens, I'm going to go hard. No matter what people say, I'm going to go hard. I'm going to push through. I'm going to hit that next gear. I'm going to progress. It's going to be hard. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's everything. I got this. I don't know, man. It works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe you need to go with a company that's like, just be okay with who you are. I'm telling you to be okay with who you are. I'm just telling you to be a better version of yourself. I'm telling you if you settled right now, would you be totally happy? No. So get a little pissed off. You know, I use negative energy. Like I use like my anger as a good thing. I use it as a good thing. I use my enemies as a good thing. The more people talk shit about me on social media, this and that, dude, it just fuels me to learn more. It fuels me to grow more. It fuels me to go harder. These guys don't know, like I'm always commenting on haters things like thank you, I owe you, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. But I truly feel grateful for what they're saying and who I'm becoming. And I couldn't do that without that courage to be out there. I couldn't do that without thinking that way. Other people that do what I do, they stop doing what I do because they're like, oh, I'm getting worn out by this. Who cares, man? If you can look at life a little bit differently, life is perspective. Sales is perspective. Sales is just perspective, man. If you think you're going to have a good day today, you'll have a good day. If you think you're going to win today, you'll win today. If you think that, today is going to be the best day of your life, it'll be the best day of your life, man. Create some momentum earlier in this month. Create some momentum. How are you going to do that? Outwork everybody. Go freaking hard. Empty the tank. Feel powerful. Count your wins. Go back through this list. Listen to this 5 times if you need to. Think about winning is subjective. If you tell yourself it's a win, your brain can't determine the difference between a win or a loss. You have to determine what the win is. You do. And if you determine what the win is, then you can create a biological response within yourself where you're like, damn, dude, I'm winning. Let's go back through this. Recap. Effort. What's your effort going to be like? What's your feedback on your effort? What's the story you're creating with yourself? Get used to eating a little shit sandwich and having fun with it, man. Like, it's no big deal. Get used to rejection. Decide who to partner with. Decide what company to keep. Decide to be in a community. Decide to give all of your all into a community. By the way, I got people in that school community. There's 300 people in there and 200 of them I don't know. You know why? Because they're not playmakers. And they have no idea that they signed up to something to be a playmaker and now they're just a role player. Like, just why'd you even come here? It's okay. And I'll let you be here because maybe it'll just take you a while to light on fire, but why not get in there and act like you run shit? Sean is on the SWAT team. He's not even in sales and he's on all the calls, going crazy, pursuing a different level. I mean, it's just healthy for him. It's just healthy for him. But he's in that same community where there's another guy that he just kind of just like takes part, jumps on a couple things. There's no intensity behind it. There's no like real true growth behind it. Personally, I'm looking for the leaders for our future companies. I'm looking to build you as a leader in your current company. I'm looking for people to raise the standards, go to the next level. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty happening in the world right now. And I think the closer that you are together, iron sharpens iron in the Bible, right? He also says those get separated for, the devil comes for. So why do we create a community? To stay together. So all of these things matter to me. I truly love this. I truly love the communities that we're creating because I think that they're the edge over life. So today, the edge is doing the work. The edge is doing the work early. The edge is getting off this call and purely attacking. The edge is getting used to losing, having fun doing it, and just going hard, man. And ultimately just being very grateful for the journey of life. The person that loves walking is always going to get further than the person that loves the journey. You know, the person that loves walking, the person that enjoys the journey is always going to get further than the person that loves the destination. Sorry. I'll say that again. The person that enjoys the journey, that enjoys walking, that has fun on the walk, looks around on the walk, is going to always get further than the person that just loves the destination, because that person gets to the destination and they don't even realize that they just missed all the good shit. They just missed all the good shit. So guys, lean in on your community, lean in on the people. If you don't have anybody in your community, there's a lot of people that are on here like Corrine, like Jason, like John, that you can rely on. The power's not just in the Elliott group. The Elliott group is you guys. The Elliott Army is you guys and helping each other. That's why I love that school community, because I see you guys DMing each other, doing your own Zooms, helping, just going crazy with each other. So guys, I totally appreciate you guys. If you need anything, let me know. Go kill it. Go create some momentum today and be proud of yourself. Count a win at the end of the day. Count a win, man. At the end of the day, I want you to look up and be like, I did that. Count a win at lunchtime today, man. Count a win. Manufacture that win. Manufacture that momentum and go hard. Thank you, guys.